Hey guys, Bobby here. I thought would talk about today a question that I get asked often, and that's, what gun should I get? What handgun should I get for my first gun? And usually I respond with, well, what's the primary purpose of it? Are you looking at something to just keep at home and mostly for home defense, or are you looking at something that, are you thinking about getting your concealed carry license and something that you're going to be carrying around a lot? So a mixture of the both. Or some that you want to take to the range and, just really a primary range, self-defense type of gun, home defense, I guess. And so, I kind of ask more questions. And, other considerations always is, a person's size, their stature, stuff like that. But, I pulled out a few guns here that I thought, these are good, good options for, maybe a first gun. And, I think I'll talk about some of these a little bit. So, if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of times right off the bat, right? Everyone always recommends the Glock 19. I mean, 15 rounds of 9mm, super easy to shoot. Standard Glock sights, got room for your pinky. Just enough room for your pinky. This is the compact version. Glock 17 would be the full-size version. So yes, you can conceal carry this. Probably not with, all your outfits or anything. But, we've got the subcompact Glock, which is a little smaller. And by the way, all these have been safety checked. So I already cleared them all, safety checked them all. So I'll just throw that out there. But, we got our subcompact Glocks, which, these are a little, well, this is easier to conceal carry. You could shoot it, almost just as well as a bigger one. This is a Glock 27, 40 caliber. Glock 26 would be the exact same gun, but in a 9mm. Same size, same everything, except for the only thing is the barrel would be different, obviously, for 9mm. I brought my Kahr PM9 out because that's an excellent concealed carry. It's nice and light, and the reason I say, a smaller, lighter gun is excellent for concealed carry is that you're more likely to carry it because it's less of an inconvenience. It's not a lot of weight. It's not, it's less of an inconvenience. Same as a 380, but once we start talking 380, we get into the argument of Sig P238. We get into the argument of stopping power, caliber. So 380 as opposed to 9mm or 40 caliber. It's a great concealed carry weapon. Also, I brought out my M&P Shield and my LCP. But we always have to kind of consider, what are we going to do? What's your primary purpose? To me, the bigger a gun is, the better I can shoot it. Part of that reason is, yes, the purchase, the sight radius. The longer sight radius that you have, the more accurate that you're gonna probably shoot this. I do shoot this gun better than this gun, and it's just due to the size. I mean, as you can see, the sight radius on this is going to be less. I do shoot this pretty well. Somebody came in the house, and somebody broke in my house, and if someone did, and I had to protect, myself or my loved ones. I'm pretty sure this could take care of the job. But then we start talking also about capacity. This has 15 rounds stock, as opposed to, this comes with stock 6 rounds. You know, 6-round magazine sits flush in here. And we could look at that. But with some of these also, let's say you wanted to use this as, this is my concealed carry and my home defense. Well, Kahr also does have a 7-round, so you'd have 7 plus 1, 8 rounds. Now you know you got a full-size grip, but we're still, you know, the sight radius is going to be less than that. So you might not be as accurate, but probably shooting across a room, you're not going to have no problem. Well, I say that with, anytime you buy a handgun, you should be going to the range and practicing, right? You should take a class and learn about your handgun. So some of the features I always hear, well, it doesn't have a, you know, a Glock doesn't have a safety. Well, you know, that safety could get in your way if you don't train with it. You know, what if, you gotta think, if you're in a situation where you're probably gonna have to use your firearm to get you out of a dangerous situation, your adrenaline is gonna be pumping like crazy. So you might not even think about doing that right there. You know, and you won't be able to, you know, pull the trigger if your safety's on. But, you know, we'll talk about 380s. You know, for a first gun, I actually probably wouldn't recommend, you know, a LCP. Yes, it's a great gun. I do own it. It's a, you know, great pocket holster. They sell these little clips that you can put on them, so you could just clip them to your pants. You know, I have a laser max on mine, but we look at the sights on this, and you're not going to be shooting that at, you know, any distance at all. I mean, that's not a lot to look at right there, you know. And you know, so I probably wouldn't recommend this for my primary carry, self-defense, and home defense weapon. I mean, you know, you only have a few rounds. I think 6 rounds of 380. You know, you have multiple people breaking in. You know, that's barely a 2-finger gun. You see, even with that extension there, I barely get 2 fingers on there. Which, for me, I don't need my pinky on anything. I just put it like that, and I grip. And that, for me, it's been fine. I honestly can't tell. So, but you know, I probably wouldn't recommend this as my first gun. It's a great backup, or I mean, even if you just needed something to carry, I usually keep it in a pocket holster. And you know, if I'm wearing a jacket or something, I just toss that in there. But so Kahr PM9 we've talked about. Glocks. You know, I ended up I do love the subcompact Glocks. Yeah, there's no place for your pinky, but a thing about Glocks is so flush or standard, you know, this comes with 40 caliber, 9 rounds in here, you have 1 in there, so it's 9 plus 1, 10 rounds, right? So you got 10 rounds of 40 caliber. I mean, that's, you know, that should get you out of anything. But, you know, let's say you got a backup magazine, and you know, we got a 15 round magazine. Well, you know, with Glocks, anything that's bigger, it fits. So now I got, you know, I got some purchase right there. So you can use this for home defense, and you know, it's pretty easy to conceal carry. Generally, I carry this. I bought the Warthog gear quick tuck holster. Another thing I love about Glocks. See how that fits, and anything in the same size is kind of interchangeable. So I have my Glock 19. Well, that fits just as well also. easy to clip in. I have a video about that. But you know, I love these holsters. It's quickly become it is my favorite holster now. So I can't actually wait for my I ordered 2 more for these 2. But so I generally carry these weapons with that, or I use a hybrid holsters also. I mean, I got the same thing, Warthog gear. I love these. But so talked about our Glocks. I know I showed y'all, and of course we got 22 round magazine. So same thing with the 9mm. You know, we got 15 rounds flush. You could use 17 round magazine, or of course, what I've heard referred to as the fun stick, 33 round. You know, 33 rounder right there. And you know, so I mean that's more than enough for anything, right? But yeah, it's a lot of fun to shoot at the range. But what would I consider a good kind of a good mixture? You know, I've really been liking this M&P Shield. I mean, the feel of it, the thinness. You know, we look at how thin it is. I mean, it really stacks up. It's just as thin as that PM9. It has a little more handle, but it's not bad. You know, I did do a video where I was wearing it, and I mean, you can't see anything. So yeah, it's a little more, but you know, it doesn't really show. It's actually, then to kind of give you a comparison of, I mean, you see how much thinner that is? It's like 1 inch thick, you know. And you know, we look at a handle. It's a little more handle, but like I just said, it's really the thinness that really makes this gun so concealable. So, you know, I mean, it really shoots well. Also comes with let's see here. Oh, there we go. So it comes with a 7. The 7 rounder fits flush. Comes with an 8 round magazine. You know, if you know, you want to keep it at home, this is what I'd have at home. If I was concealed carrying, you know, I would have that. So, you know, it's a little less, you know, less to print, so it won't show through your shirt. That right there, so you get good purchase and, you know, good purchase and extra round. 8 + 1, 9 rounds of 9mm. That's, you know, that's pretty good. So now, what gun did I get? For my first gun. Now, you know, I've talked about it. I said in another video, I used to carry around 1911, and I was not referring to that. You know, I was referring to its bigger brother. This was that's my first gun right there. Kimber 1911. This is the Gold Match. This is the original Gold Match. You can see right there. Stainless steel, rosewood grips. I used to actually conceal carry this when I first got it. I'm from Alaska though, so you know, you wear a lot of clothes. You know, you got a sweatshirt, a jacket, a undershirt. You know, I mean, that's a lot of stuff to have on. Just give you some size comparison there. Yeah, it's not even close, right? And that's pretty ridiculous. So, you know, this feels like a little, you know, I mean, insignificant compared to this. Full stainless steel. You know, these have polymer, so I mean that reduces the weight. But I mean that's a big chunk of steel right there. But yeah, I love this gun. Don't conceal carry no more, but I do take it to the range. But you know, so what's the first good gun lately? I've been telling people, and I really love that Shield. But you know, any of these are good options. You know, except for that maybe as your first gun. But I mean, they're all good guns, right? And you know, So, oh, you know what? Another thing I love about Glocks. So we talked about, I love going to the range, right? So sometimes I grab a Glock and, you know, I do want to just, you know, maybe I want to shoot a rifle also. Well, what if you get something like a Sub 2000, right? So this also takes, it's a 40 caliber, and it takes Glock magazines also. So then I could just go to the range, I bring this and that, and I am good to go. And this is the ultimate camp rifle. And you know, it folds away. I mean, it just folds away, goes like that. And so, yeah, that's another thing I love about Glocks. And yeah, there's other pistol caliber carbines out there, but you know, that's just one more benefit to me. But you know, all these are great guns. Lately, I've been really recommending that. I mean, I loved it. I love this gun. If you watch some of my other videos, I did put the rubber grips on it now. I used to have the granulate, but I didn't like it how it was sticking to my shirt and stuff. So, well, hopefully that helped you out some. But you know, so I kind of went over all these guns. Told you some of the benefits. You know, what's good for home defense. You know, got to kind of take that size, capacity, which is going to be your primary purpose. You know, weight. We got to consider all those different things. And you know, what's a good thing? Talk to some of your friends also. You know, some of your buddies, maybe at work or you know wherever, and you know, see what they have, and maybe get a chance to, you know, shoot what they have, and you might like something else. You know, a lot of people like XDs, XDMs. You know, I mean, there's lots of good options out there, and you know, it's really just finding, you know, what fits your hand the best, and you know, what you enjoy shooting, and you know, a weight that you're comfortable carrying, if you know that's going to be an option to you. So, but no matter what, you gotta practice, train. You know, can't go wrong taking a class. So, well, I hope that helped. Thank you guys for watching. All right, thanks. Bye.